Hi, welcome back to part 2 of our thoughts on noticing them. And in this section, we're really going to look at the negative thoughts that appear. I'm talking about the negative self-doubt thoughts that tend to be automatic. And because they're automatic, they're like a reflex within the brain. They also can be believable. And because of this, they go unnoticed a lot of the time. They can come and go of their own accord, and they kind of cue one negative thought, cues another one. And this is where we spiral into self-doubt, and we spiral into anxiety, and we can spiral into a lot of negative thinking. These kind of thoughts can cause a lot of suffering within our lives. And the best place to start with these is to notice when you are having these negative thoughts. And you'll know them when you start to take that stop and look back and see what you're thinking. And if you can question by asking yourself, am I thinking I should have, I ought to, or I must? Because nearly all the time, those words should, ought, and must are accompanied with a negative thought, a negative believable statement. I should have phoned my mother. I must phone my mother. I ought to phone my mother, which will invariably be followed by, I'm a bad daughter. And that leads into a whole spiral of other thoughts. So we need to be aware of these. And the key is looking out for them, the word should, ought, or must, and notice it too in your conversations with people. Because that is where you're projecting these negative thoughts about yourself. Just notice them, take a moment, and then take a step back. The step back bit can be a little bit more difficult, and I'm going to show you a really good technique for stepping back. So the thought is, for example, I am stupid. What if we take a step back from that, just one step, and say, I'm having the thought that I am stupid. How does that feel now? It's a little less personal. What about taking 2 steps back? I am noticing that I am having the thought that I am stupid. How does that feel? Just putting that distance and that space and removing yourself from those thoughts is a much healthier way of living, and it's a much easier way and a kinder way to be with yourself. I've done a few of these in the Clanbeat app and find it really useful because not only am I thinking it, I'm actually putting it down and I'm seeing myself being removed from it. Some days I leave them there and other days I delete them. But I have a record of it, and I have a record of me making the effort to put that space between the original thought and how I feel about it now. So I am noticing that I am having the thought that I am stupid. Feels very different to I am stupid, which feels instantly believable, instantly hurtful. So that's it for our quick insights into thoughts and noticing them. There'll be a lot more in this type of work over the next few weeks. We'll be looking really at emotions because they're so interlinked with our thoughts. But until then, go easy.